Year 5 and welcome to your last English lesson on our flashback topic. So today's going to be our final lesson and we're going to start something new next week. What it is going to be, I haven't yet fully decided. It might be our spooky stories. But today's going to be our final lesson when we're going to wrap up the end of our flashback from this unit of writing. But before we do that, let's wake your brains up a little bit. So this is called Think and Write. So what I want you to do is use this photograph as your inspiration. So you're going to use this to help you create some of your sentences. I want you to think and write using the following pattern of sentences, okay? So, sentence 1 must contain a fronted adverbial. Okay, now you've had these toolkits sent home to you, so you should know what a fronted adverbial is. Sentence 2 must include a simile. Okay, now we did this on Wednesday, so you should know how to do a simile. Sentence 3 needs to include a possessive apostrophe. Now this isn't something we've done very much in the last term or so that we've been at school. But a possessive apostrophe is when we add an apostrophe when it's something that belongs to somebody. So we usually have an apostrophe for a contraction when we take a letter out or a group of letters out, or we have an apostrophe that tells you that something belongs to something. So Miss Humphrey's laptop is very expensive. So I would have my Miss Humphrey apostrophe S because that's telling me the laptop belongs to me, Miss Humphrey. Okay. Sentence 4 must be in passive voice. Okay, and we haven't really looked much at passive voice, but it's got to be a sentence that usually has the word by in it. So our English lesson was taught today by Miss Humphrey. The giraffe was standing next to the tree by the water or something like that. But have a go, see if you can have a go at doing sentence number 4. If not, you can skip sentence number 4 because I know that's not one that we've recapped for a while actually. And number 5 needs to be a question sentence. Now it could be a rhetorical question, which we looked at in yesterday's lesson, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video, okay? I want you to have a go at writing your 5 sentences. Make sure you read through it properly and see, does it include all of those skills? Now if you cannot remember how to do passive voice, okay, then you can skip that one, but I still want you to have a go at doing sentence 1, 2, 3, and 5. Okay, so pause the video and have a go. Okay, well, here was my example, so we'll see how good my example was. So, deep in the African savannah, day was quickly becoming night. So started there with my fronted adverbial. Sentence number 2, the setting sun was glistening like a radiant ruby in the darkening sky. Now, rubies are red, okay, and the sun is starting to go that nice orangey red colour. So there you go, my second sentence was a simile. Slowly and deliberately, the giraffe's towering silhouette passed across the landscape. So we're talking about the silhouette that belongs to the giraffe, hence the possessive apostrophe. The leaves on the nearby trees were being nibbled as she passed. Okay, so that's where I've got my passive sentence on there. Would you like to experience an African safari? So there I've got my rhetorical question. So well done if you've had a go at writing that. If any of that was a bit confusing and you want to now go back and have a go at writing one of the sentences yourself using my examples, then by all means, go and have a go. So your last lesson today is to write that transitional paragraph, which is going to be a very small paragraph today, so it shouldn't be too much to do, out of our flashback. Okay, so we're going to recap the skills to edit and improve, because I went back and read my work yesterday, and there were 2 sentences right at the beginning of that paragraph. I thought, wow, Miss Humphrey, that's naff. I mean, my year 5s could have done a better job than I did. So we're going to go back and we're going to look at editing and improving, and we're going to pick a couple of sentences from yesterday. Then we're going to edit and improve one of those sentences. We're going to identify where those skills have been used in a sentence, okay? So we're going to look at the skills that we've used and see if we can work out where we've used them. And then we're going to write the final transitional paragraph out of our flashback today, okay? Once we've done that, what I'm going to get you guys to do is publish a perfect paragraph. Oh, alliteration. Publish a perfect paragraph. So what I want you to do is, because I haven't been able to see a lot of your writing because it's the one thing that you guys don't all seem to send into school, I would like you to write up one of your perfect paragraphs once you've edited and improved it, okay, and you think you've got lots of skills and you like to show it off. I want you to write it up in neat, and when you send that in to me, I'd like to be able to post some of these on Twitter, because it's very rare I've been actually able to post much of my English, okay, purely because I'm not always 100% impressed with the quality, okay, because I think there are some of you that could be doing a better job if you put a bit more effort in. Now, you've worked really hard on this, and it's not usual to write flashbacks within our English lessons, so I want you to have a go at publishing one of your perfect paragraphs at the end. So let's recap and think, well, what does edit and improve mean? Okay, so to improve a sentence is to make a boring sentence sound more interesting, and that could be including other things like grammatical features or words, or it could be changing certain things. For example, the wolf guarded the babies. Okay, now we could change this into, curiously, the calm, nurturing wolf who normally growled at humans guarded the vulnerable, abandoned babies. Okay, so I want you to just pause the video and have a think. How has that sentence been improved? Okay, well, we can see here, okay, if we have a look at what's been added, okay, we've got curiously, okay, which is one of our fronted adverbials, and we know it's an adverbial because it's got the ly. We've got an expanded noun phrase, the calm, nurturing wolf, and the vulnerable, abandoned babies. And then we've got a relative clause, which we looked at in yesterday's lesson. Starts with a relative pronoun, adds additional information embedded into my sentence, and I have my 2 correct punctuation marks there of my commas, okay, to symbolise where that relative clause is, okay? So let's have a quick recap of fronted adverbials and expanded noun phrases and relative clauses, okay? So fronted adverbials are words or phrases that go at the beginning of a sentence, okay? It's to describe the action that's going to follow on from that sentence. So without hesitation, Riyadh reached up to grab the ball. Every evening, Maya practices her guitar. Cheekily, Liza smiled when she saw her cards, okay? So you can see how we've got the different adverbials at the beginning. Now we know what expanded noun phrases are. This is when we're this is when we use adjectives or modifying nouns. Okay, so here we've got some exciting holiday brochures, a cute pink pig, and the majestic magical unicorn. Okay, so you can see how we've used the expanded noun phrases to make the noun sound more interesting. And then we've done this with our relative clauses yesterday. It starts with a relative pronoun. So the squirrel, which was halfway up the tree, clung onto the trunk. Sebastian, who was previously undefeated, now stands in 4th place. And the storm, that was predicted yesterday, almost capsized the boat. So you can see the which, who, and that are my relative pronouns, and we've got the relative clause in the middle. Okay, so let's see if you can have a go at doing some sentences using all of those skins. So we're going to up level, okay, or improve this sentence, okay, throughout the entire part we're going to do. So the boy held open the door, okay. What I want you to do first, I want you to create some expanded noun phrases, then we're going to add a fronted adverbial, and then we're going to add a relative clause as we go along, okay. So the first thing I want you to do is think about which 2 things you'd be describing, okay. So we've got the boy held open the door, so we're going to be describing the boy and the door, okay. So, I knew the sentence was going to come up. So, what do they look like? Think about their personality. How might they be feeling? Think about the condition. So, where is it they're opening this door? What type of building might they be in? How old are they? Think about the size. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video. Okay, and I want you to just write down some different groups of adjectives to describe the boy and to describe the door. Okay, so pause the video and have a go. Okay, so now we're going to do the fronted adverbial one. So we're going to add some fronted adverbials. Now I want you to think, well, when did it happen? How frequently does he do it? Where was the door? How did he hold it? How long had it been there? What state was he in? Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and give yourself 1 minute. I want you to draw a mind map and write down some different fronted adverbials to describe how, what, when this boy did something with the door. Okay, so pause the video and have a go. Okay, now what I want you to do is we're going to look at relative clauses, okay? So we've looked at these and I want you to use either who, which, whose, or that. I want you to have a go at writing down a relative clause, okay, where we can add some additional information to our sentence, okay? So pause the video and have a go at writing down a couple of relative clauses you could use. Okay, so what we're going to do now, okay, is we're going to have a go at up leveling this. So what you need to do now is you need to put it all together, okay, and see what you come up with, okay? So the boy held open the door, okay? Now what I want you to do is just pause the video before I show you mine. What I want you to do is pick one of your examples from your fronted adverbials, expanded noun phrases, and relative clause. I want you to put it all together to form one long sentence, okay? So pause the video and have a go. Okay, well, here is my example. So after lunch, the sensible, responsible boy, whose job it is to tidy up, held open the blue classroom door. Okay, so you can see where I've used my fronted adverbial. Okay, after lunch, I've got 2 sets of expanded noun phrases, sensible, responsible boy. Now you can see here when we discussed this last week that not all expanded noun phrases need a comma. Okay, if I'm adding to the noun. So if it had been the blue bright door, I'd have needed my comma. But because I've said that this door is actually the classroom door, okay, that actually is just expanding the noun, okay, so I don't need a comma between blue and classroom, okay, because the door is the classroom door. It's not an additional adjective to describe the door. Now, what I want you to do on the end of your sentence that you've done now is, can you go and now add a subordinate clause to give extra additional information. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, well, here was my example here then. So, violently, the colossal smouldering volcano, which had been dormant for over 100 years, spat dense grey ash and molten glowing lava into the blackened sky. And here you can see I added until all light from the midday sun had been banished. Okay, so just adding that subordinate clause in the end has given it additional information. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to have a go at editing and improving.